It's finna be 2025, y'all. What are y'all doing? Happy New Year. Happy 2025. Whoa. This year has been a game changer for me. I don't know about y'all. I've been seeing the memes and people talking about, how people be emphasizing how the year went for them, and a lot of people was like they ready for it to be over, and they they trying to sign up to be on the make sure they on the blessed and highly favored list and not the strongest soldiers list for 2025. I mean, I had my moments this year, but I'm definitely grateful. So this is gonna be my last video for the year for 2024. So I'm gonna close it out and reflect on what I manifested this year. So this year it's been a little magical. So I hope this video inspires you to tap into some of that energy, okay, and that power that you have to create the life you desire. And before we dive in, go ahead and subscribe to the channel, and you can also like the video while you at it. You can wait till we get to the end to share, because I want you to absorb the information first, or whatever we end up talking about, right? But go ahead and subscribe and all that good stuff. It's fine. I ain't got no problem with you doing that. Okay. You can also become a member of the channel if you want to, get that going for you in 2025. All right. And let's get into it. So, 2024 has really just taught me about alignment and getting in tune with my higher self. Okay. Trust in the process. Trust in the process. Taking inspired action and letting the universe, the God, the divine do its thing. Okay. So, y'all know I had me like a period of quote unquote homelessness. I wasn't living on the street, but I didn't have my own place, and I had to kind of do like a little Airbnb hopping. I had a situation with the place that I was living at, and it didn't pan out well, and so I ended up having to leave abruptly. But now my circumstances have changed. Okay, I am in my beautiful new apartment in Jamaica. I've been here for like a month now. Has it been a month? Is it 2 months? It's been a month or two. And I really love it. I'm in the beautiful blue mountains of Jamaica. I'm in the hills where I wanted to be, right? Chef's kiss, right? And I got my new car, Sapphire, which I may or may not try and plug a photo. I've been supposed to make a video about my car, y'all. 2025 is coming. So let's talk about Sapphire first, because that was one of the larger or the major things that I manifested this year. And so, y'all know I had the Jimmy. The Jimmy didn't make it. The Jimmy, she had a stroke and didn't make it. um, but I was out of a vehicle for a little while. Now, depending on where you live in Jamaica, you may or may not need, transportation. Um, but I kind of live out in the outskirts. I knew that I liked being on the outskirts, and that a car was probably going to be necessary. And even with the transportation and taxis, like out in the rural areas, child, it's just a lot. I could not. So I was like, I'm going to need to get me a new vehicle. Now, like, of course, like I'm always, writing stuff down, and I'm just, reminding myself and put things out, you know, into the ether or whatever you want to call it. And so I remember the Jimmy was on her last leg. Let me stop calling her the Jimmy. Like, she wasn't near and dear to me. It was the Mocha Mobile, and she was on her last leg, right? So I was like, I don't have no money to get you fixed right now. This is not something that I'm really ready, willing to invest any more money in, right? So I had been test driving some cars, right, but I never really made a decision. So the last day I went to test drive some cars, right? Um, I had kind of like narrowed it down. So I was like, I want this uh, Toyota or whatever, and I had another car. It was the Toyota and some Honda whatever. So I went to test drive the Toyota, right? Again, I just wanted to test drive it because I was like, let me actually see. Because I had test drove, what's that, that Toyota Raise, a little smaller one. I was too vivacious for that car, so I was like, I need something a little more hefty. So I went and test drive the Toyota Cross. It's one of the Cross models. I went and test drove that car, and then like again, I didn't know anything about the process. I just went to test drive it, and the lady after I test drove it, she gave me the paperwork and all this other stuff. I was like, I don't know what you give me this stuff for. I don't know. Okay, so I took the paperwork right. Right after I left that Toyota dealership, my Jimmy broke down. She quit dead in the middle of the road. I was in Hope Road, and you know what? I wasn't even like. I was like, that's the car I'm supposed to get. Like she had survived with me all up until that time, until I got a whiff of my new car. And so again, that's how when you know stuff is about to happen for you, you may see things like break down or stuff like stop working for you. Because I had been familiar with the process, I was like, oh, that means that's what I'm supposed to get. That's the car I'm supposed to get. That's the car I'm gonna have the process for it, right? And then that was it for me. Like I was just sitting dead in the middle of the road. Them people was calling me all kind of bumbleclots riding past me because I was just broke down. But I didn't care. I was like, that's my new car. Anyways, so I had ended up getting the car towed, right? And so I was like, okay, well, I got the paperwork for it. Let me go to the bank. Cause I ain't reached the richness yet. So I was like, I'm gonna have to get like a car loan. And so I had went to a few different banks, and one bank was like, again, because I'm a foreigner, like I have to, go through a bit of an extra processes because they all know who I am and where my money coming from and nothing like that. Because my income is not based in Jamaica, so I was prepared for that. But um, they wanted my credit report, and like I had brought my credit report, and they was like, they real. Like you got this, that. You can't have this on your credit report. I was like, oh gosh. So like I was like a bunch of banks. I was like, it's just not gonna work out. I don't know. And so I had went to my last little bank, and I met with this lady, and she, basically was like, okay, like basically telling me everything, that I needed, and I was like, okay, I qualify for most of this. Um, the thing that almost stumped me, y'all, was she was like, you're gonna need a 10% deposit for the car, and I'm trying to play cool. I'm like, okay, 10%, and then I'm in my head, I'm like, I don't know where that's gonna come from. And then she was like, depending on your credit, out here in Jamaica, they may be able to do it for 5%. So I was like, that 5% sound a whole lot better. I still don't know where it's gonna come from, deposit wise. But I was like, okay, cool. And so like I started going through the process and all this other stuff, and giving my paperwork and my bank statements and my all that stuff, all that paperwork stuff. And so lo and behold, like going through the process, I think I was overseas or whatever. I had left for a while, and I got noticed that I had got approved for the loan, and that I had to have like the first month's car note, and I had to have that 5% deposit. Right, so I was like, dang, okay, what I'm gonna do about this 5% deposit? So around that time, I think I had made it back to Jamaica, and again, I'm still trying to figure how I'm gonna get this where I'm gonna get this money from. I had started calculating. It was like a few thousand. I was like, oh no, where I'm gonna get that from? I'm dead serious, y'all. So, this is when I was back in Spanish Town. I had made it back to Spanish Town, and I was like, okay. I had started getting like some notifications and stuff about like um my little stock accounts and my investment accounts or whatever, right? Again, I had never really been familiar with the stock market. I was just always told you need to be putting something in there, and that's what I would do. I had like a few of them spread little stock market accounts, and I started getting notifications, right? I was like, let me see again. I'm somewhat familiar, but I'm not like a professional, right? I was just doing stuff. So I was like, let me check and see how much I got. So I checked one of my stock accounts, and one of them had like a little over 1,000. I was like, okay, that's a little bit. We got something in there. Okay, that's 1,000. And then I checked another one. It was like same about the same range, right? And then I had another one. It wasn't like 1,000 something, but it was a few hundred in there. I was like, after I had calculated everything up, I was like, this is just enough to cover the deposit for my car. And then I was like, along with like my pay and stuff coming up, I was like, and again, so I was like, I didn't even know how to go about like getting that money out of the account. Like I did not know. So I had to like try and hurry up and figure that out. I was like, how do I get this money, from my stock account to my bank account? And I figured it out, and it didn't take long. The few days I had that money, I was like, wow. I was like, thank you, God. Like, I mean, I barely cut it, but I cut it. Like, I had enough to cover the deposit, the first note, and the insurance. That's how that happened, basically, right? And then just even me going through the process of getting approved for the car. That's how I'm like, when stuff is supposed to happen for you, it's really just gonna line up for you and just like make it easy. Like, again, had I kept trying with those banks who was like, yeah, I would with the path of least resistance. I went with the easiest process, right? I'd have made videos about this, like following the path of least resistance, and like you knowing like when you supposed to go in what direction and stuff like that. I talk about this stuff, and like I'm also hosting a workshop in January called Lead Herself Workshop. And I teach you about understanding yourself and the energy that you carry as a black woman, and how to use that to basically create the life you desire and tap into your higher self. Right? Again, because I have been familiar with these processes, I knew what stuff syncing up looked like, right? Like I knew what like again, I stayed in the energetic vibration. When my car broke down, I was not angry at all. I was like, I'm finna get my new car, and that's the car I'm supposed to get. Like that's the mental state that I was in, right? And so that was a miracle for me. Another miraculous happening. And me even just have the perfect amount of money in my stock accounts to cover that. Now my stock accounts are depleted, so I'm gonna have to start over with that. But it was the perfect amount of money for me to do what I need to do to secure my vehicle. Right, right. I don't know about y'all, but I love it. Okay, and then now let's talk about my sanctuary. This beautiful apartment that I'm in is so beautiful. It's so spacious. I love the view and the beautiful whatever colorful tree that is out there, and just the lushness of the mountains, and I love the birds chirping. It's like a real life sanctuary for me. I even got like a little water fountain thingy. Um, it's not on right now, but it'll be like it's like a little water fountain. It's like a real life sanctuary, y'all. Just peace, nature. Yeah. So, how did that happen? Again, it was in one of my down and out moments, right? So, like I said, I had um so when I had my situation, I think earlier in the year with the place that I was staying in initially, and I was doing the Airbnb hopping, and I asked, somebody that I just came across that I had just met in passing. I actually did an interview for their magazine, and I had asked him, like, anywhere available for rent? And he was like, oh, well, you can come out here, Spanish Town. It's not all that bad. He gave me the speech about how, oh, Spanish Town, but some parts are like you don't have to worry too much. So I was like, I ain't got nowhere to stay. Let me check it out. And so he took me around. He showed me some places, and then he was like, "Well, my mother is overseas right now. Maybe you can stay there or whatever." And I was like, "Well, is it cool with Mama? Let me know. Let me know. What's up? What y'all want?" Gave me a rent price. It was basically like for a room, and I had the entire space and house to myself, except for them kids that kept stealing the mango off the tree. But yeah, for about like 6 months, I was living in Spanish Town. The rent was affordable. Like I was really like able to catch like my breath and stuff like that. And so after that, again, I still had like a period. She came back, so I had to leave. I still had like my period of like, okay, like now I gotta find somewhere. So again, I started the process. I was like, oh gosh. Luckily, I had my car, and my car was like a temporary storage unit. I was like, oh gosh, like it's really hard to find somewhere to live in Jamaica sometimes. And so I was like, what am I gonna do? I started, of course, hitting the ground running and doing the gleaner and looking online and all this other stuff, right? And so I was sending out requests and sending out, trying to reach and talk to people. Nobody was responding to me, right? Um, so one day I was like, you know what? I need to kind of like I can feel when I'm starting to get like stuff is getting like a little heavy. I'm staying in good vibration, but sometimes I'm like, I want somewhere to live. I'm tired of being in these strangers' houses. People be weird. I'm sick of this. And so I was like, I want to go up into the mountains because I love being in the mountains. That's my favorite place to be in Jamaica. I'm just gonna go stay up in the Airbnb up in here, right? And so when I'm heading up to the Airbnb, I ride past the sign that says for rent, right? Again, it's my intuition be knowing stuff. And I was like, let me stop and take a picture. Okay, you couldn't really see like the place or the buildings or anything like that. It's just a big old gate and it had a for rent sign on it. I was like, let me take a picture. And I was like, okay. And then I kept moseying on up the mountains. Now the Airbnb I stayed in was a hot mess. I swear I almost started to like just go back into Kingston. I was like, you know what? Just just stay for a few days. Like don't even worry about it. You gonna be out before you know it. And so I did. I would still leave for the majority of the day and just come back. Basically, I was there going to sleep. Um, and um, I was getting synchronicities and things like that. I was getting like the intuition or the knowing that like I'm supposed to something. I'm connected to this place in some form or fashion. And that song "I'll Take You There" by the oh my gosh, I'll take you there. I'm so sorry. I listen to the song all the time, and I can't even think of the artist name right now. But that "I'll Take You There" song, the Staple Singers, "I'll Take You There." That song, like started to become relevant. So I'm like, okay, this song is starting to pop up a lot. That means I'm good. I ain't gotta worry about nothing. I'll take you there. I'm gonna let y'all do y'all thing. God, universe, divine ancestors. I'm gonna let y'all do it. I'll let you take me there. So I started again. I was like, okay, let me look more into this area, right? Let me look for places in this area specifically, and see what I could find out about this place that I rode past. And so I found like this nice building. I was like, I don't even know if this was the exact building that I rode past, but I like it. Let me send the inquiry. And I had seen it had been on the market for a few days. I was like, let me call and like check, cause again, it's like the lady still didn't email me, but I had to call and hound her, cause at this point I was like, I think that's the spot I'm supposed to be in. Like I had a big gravitational pull towards this location, and I called her. And again, like that was like the only communication that I had with somebody regarding finding a place to stay at that time. And again, it was the path of least resistance. It was the smoothest process. Of course, it was a process, but it was not as like difficult as it could have been, you know. And so, lo and behold, a little bit later, now I'm here. in the mountains, in the beautiful scenic environment that I went with my nudges and the things that I liked, and I followed my joy and I followed my intuition. I love being in the mountains. I was like, let me go and get in this environment so I can like bask in it. And that's how things start to roll out. Like for me, those are the two of the major things, and that's how they played out. Those are two of the major things that have happened for me this year. And I'm in a really good place, and I'm ready to see what's gonna happen in 2025. I'm big ball and shot calling like this. I gotta see what's next. Okay, so how can you start doing this for yourself? One, you can join my workshop. I'm very serious. Learn about the energy that you carry. You have to learn about this. Black people have to learn how energetics work in 2025. You have to understand the science behind all of this, right? It's great to do the visualizing, it's great to do the manifesting, it's great to do the praying, but you have to understand also your vibrational state plays a really big part in the things that you want coming into fruition, right? So, again, how do you start? You can get clear on what you want. Start there, get clear on what you want. So, vague things, vague desires are going to lead to vague results. So, you need to get specific. You need to put down a list. Like, again, like all the time, I would write down, I want a car. I didn't know what kind of car. I want a car that is reliable. Um, I forgot what else I wrote down, but I know I wanted a good car, new car that was reliable. I wanted a place that I was comfortable and happy, and I wanted to be in the mountains. That I knew, like specific. Like I mean, you may not know exactly to the specific detail, but you're gonna have to. Don't be so vague. Oh, I want somewhere to live. Where? Where you want to be? Where you want to go? Some people do visualization. They make vision boards. Again, these things are great, but your energy also plays a big part in this, okay? So you need to feel it, right? And so understanding how vibrational energy works, if you don't feel like you can have something or that you're worthy of it, you're not going to get it. So if you feel like you don't deserve a new car or that it's like a waste of money or something like that, those are the results you're going to yield. When I was like homeless or and I didn't have anywhere to stay, if I stayed in like a down and out like vibration, like oh what was me and I can't blah, blah, like I would have stayed in that position probably longer because I was not in the vibrational frequency to bring what it is that I needed to me, right? You have to feel it. You have to know it. I knew stuff was gonna pan out. I was like, y'all can speed up the process a little bit more, but I knew it was gonna pan out, right? So you also have to take inspired action, right? Like this apartment that I got. When I came up in the mountains, I had that feeling. I was like, "Ooh, I want to be up in here." I then took the action that I need to take, and then I also noticed probably why I never heard back from anywhere else, right? Because I wasn't supposed to be in those places, and that was also something that I knew and that I didn't really worry about. When I was constantly sending out these inquiries and I didn't hear anything back, I wasn't like going on no rant or anything like that. I was like, I'm not supposed to. That I'm probably not supposed to deal with them, right? What I want is gonna flow to me with ease, path of least resistance. Okay, and manifesting is more than about wishing and visualizing and seeing it. It's taking movement towards those things, right? Make yourself open, free up your energy, make your energy open to receive things and take action towards it. And then you have to detach and you have to trust the process. That's a big part. The longer you are trying to forcing things and taking inspired action are two different things, right? So, like, uh, example, if I had to like tried to force, like, if I had a went and called and hounded like these people, I want to go, like, I probably would have repelled, what was for me to come to me, right? You have to detach and you have to let stuff flow and you have to trust the process. Detach means that you're not worried necessarily about how it's going to come to you. You just know it's going to come. And you're not fixated on the process per se, right? You just trust yourself and you trust your energy and you know what's going to come. The quicker you can get into these states, the faster these things happen, okay? Let go of the when and the how. Once you set your intentions, just trust that it's going to come to you at the perfect time. Now, I've been doing this for a long time. It's been a few years for me, and for a lot of people I know, they are new to this or they are just now getting familiar with the process. If you join my workshop, you will cut out a whole lot of junk and learn how to do this for yourself, right? Set your goals for 2025. Put one or two of them in the comments, right? Let me see what y'all put that energy into the comments because I really want people to understand, like, how this works, right? Just put that energy into the comments. Let me know what you are bringing in for 2025. Okay. For me, 2025 was all about elevating. My personal goals is losing some weight. I've already started. I got my mother sent me a sauna, which I'm using to detox and sweat. I got me a vibration plate, which I'm gonna be using to like get my lymphatic system back working and functioning properly, and just like help with like the bloating and the detox and stuff like that. I do need to spend more time outside, which I am hoping to figure out some type of way to get me like a little garden or something outdoor to start soaking up more of that sunlight. But that's a goal for me, and I don't want to do like extremities. So like I said, I was tired of I made a video and I was tired of exercising, not because I was starting to feel like it wasn't really like solving any problems, and I was just doing something out of habit instead of actually like figuring out like what's the issue with my body. And I definitely have like some lymphatic issues going on that I'm focusing on those, right? And then I'm anticipating the weight loss to be like a benefactor, as opposed to me just like going walking the miles and miles and miles and miles and still not seeing like the desired results. And I'm like, I don't want to be on a hamster wheel. Like, I want to actually, what is the actual issue going on so I can deal with that. Um, so my physical health is going to be a focus of mine for the new year. And I'm also just wanting to make more money. I want some businesses that are really flourishing and thriving and doing well. I want to scale my businesses. I want to step into some financial abundance, right? Like, I don't know whether it's online, whether it's something physical out here in Jamaica. Like, I'm ready to like boss mocha. That's what my goal is. Fine mocha and boss mocha. Y'all better watch out. Y'all better watch out. 2020 mocha is the mocha I'm trying to bring back into 2025. Yes. Yes, she's coming. She's coming. Just hold your horses, okay? So, I'm inviting you again to join my workshop, okay? January 17th. It's designed specifically for black women to help you access your natural energy, break free from limiting beliefs, and create the life you deserve and you want, okay? We're going to dig deeper into these things. I tried my best to explain, these things like without getting people like into a confused state. But if you want to learn more, you want to learn from me, I'm going to be creating those resources for you. So get on my email list if you're not ready to join the workshop yet. And if you're ready to join the workshop, it's going to be in the information below. So click the link in the description to join or get on my email list. Okay? So, what are y'all doing for 2025? You are the creator of your reality. I'm letting you know that now. What are you creating for yourself in 2025, right? You create your reality in alignment with God or in conjunction with the universe. You're working together, right? So how are you doing this, right? What you desire is already waiting for you. You just have to claim it and have to move towards that and be in the energy and the embodiment of achieving it and receiving it. Okay. So thank y'all. Thank you for everybody who subscribed to my channel this year. Thank you for everybody who watched. Thank you for every like, share, comment. Thank you for everything. Thank you for being a part of my journey for this year and the beginning. I'm so grateful for each of you. So again, drop your manifestations for 2025 in the comments below. All right. I want to see what y'all got planned, and I don't know how I'm gonna keep track of that, but I don't know. Let me see. Hopefully, some more of y'all get on YouTube so I can like. She said she was gonna do that, and then I can be like liking your stuff. Okay, so until next time, y'all. Happy New Year. Okay, and I will see you soon in 2025. Be blessed. The people's getting ready for the Vybz Kartel concert. If y'all can hear them beeping and blowing in the background. If you go to the Vybz Kartel concert, let me know. Let me know how it was. I'll be watching it online when y'all post the videos. Okay? All right, so that's it. Have a beautiful and wonderful start and welcome into this next year, this age of Aquarius that we've transitioned into. See ya.